"2020 Democrats target federal ban on abortion funding." Democratic presidential candidates are seizing on the intensifying abortion debate by calling for an end to a 43-year ban on the use of federal funds for abortions. 21 Democrats running for president say they support repealing the so-called Hyde Amendment, which has prevented public health programs like Medicaid from paying for abortions, in most cases, since 1976. The support from candidates come as more states passed laws blocking women from getting abortions after certain points in a pregnancy, part of a legal strategy by conservatives to increase the odds of the Supreme Court revisiting Roe v. Wade. In response, some White House hopefuls, including Senior Cory Booker D. The movement to end the decades-old federal ban, led in large part by women of color and abortion rights groups, has gained prominence in recent years. The 2016 Democratic National Committee DNC platform was the first time the party made repealing the Hyde Amendment a priority, and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Senior Bernie Sanders but this time around candidates are putting the issue front and center in response to efforts to restrict abortion access at the state level. They are also Only 3 have not commented on the Hyde Amendment or have not signed on to legislation that would repeal it. Tulsi Gabbard, even former Vice President Joe Biden, who supported the Hyde Amendment while serving in Congress, told an American Civil Liberties Union volunteer that he now wants to end it. Because the Hyde Amendment has been attached to government spending bills every year since 1976, eliminating it would require congressional support. The policy has survived so long because government funding of abortion is a non-starter for Republicans, as well as some Democrats, both on and off Capitol Hill. Former President Obama waffled on the issue. He included the Hyde, but the Democratic Party has changed since then. In addition to the DNC changing its platform in 2016, this year 126 House Democrats signed on to a bill introduced in March that would permanently eliminate the Hyde Amendment. But while many Democrats want to repeal the amendment, Republicans want to make it permanent. A measure sponsored by Senior Roger Wicker passing the legislation remains a priority for congressional Republicans, anti-abortion groups and President Trump, a position that in many ways helps keep the issue on the front burner for Democrats hoping to challenge Trump next year. In the meantime, opponents of the ban say the debate is shining a light on how the policy mostly hurts poor women of color who rely on Medicaid for health care.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.